Hello and welcome to the Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast. You're joining the awesome foursome back together because I've stopped being, in Duncan's words, a pussy.
Pussy.
I'm back for searching questions, our favourite format. Before we get into the meat of the nitty gritty, let's say hello to everyone and do some introductions. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Tom. Thanks for being back and not being a pussy anymore.
Absolutely. Although
Hello,
I am wearing
Andy's.
hey, Andy's. How are we doing? Russ, how are you, sir?
Hello. Can't really top that.
No, that was very good. Duncan, fellow dressing gown wearer tonight, how are you?
Hi Tom, I'm all right. How are you?
Fucking dressing gowns. What the fuck?
Very good.
There's
Yeah, but
three
the thing
people
is,
watching.
but the thing is, mine looks like a nice kind of like, it's a Star Wars cardi because the sleeves are rolled up. I just
I need
different
to set
sort
my
of-
Duncan
background.
thinks
Whereas-
he's fucking Hugh Hefner.
Whereas Duncan like literally had his
Sort
done
of
up like Hefner's
Pound
smoking
shop,
jacket.
Coward thing going on.
Yes, it was very good. Anyway, as I said, tonight's format, we're going to go back to one of our favourites, which is searching questions. When Russ first joined the podcast, we did the very first searching questions, and these were things like which of the Fellowship of the Ring would be the most sensitive lover? Why does the Death Star and all Imperial installations seem to have no handrails? How do Transformers reproduce? What's going on the Thomas the Tank Engine Island? Like,
More on that later.
yeah.
Oh, no,
So-
not again.
Ah.
'Cause that
so
led
basically-
to one of my personal worst moments ever, which was that slash fiction story you read out.
Oh, we need to do slash fiction
We
again.
do.
I still haven't recovered from the last one.
It was one of my favourite ever podcasts we've done.
I was thinking we should do AI/fiction.
Just put what we want to happen into AI and let it write it for
Yeah,
us. I mean,
It
I'm
is-
kind of in.
but
It
anyway,
is-
this is admin.
It is kind of interesting though that we did go from one question on a podcast to let's make a whole podcast where we have things, having sex with each other. I mean, come on, that's the logical extension of this.
I'm quite proud of my Only Fools and Horses slash fiction. Thank you very much.
Your Master
I mean,
Chief one was brilliant.
The
wasn't
fact
it?
is that it had
My
the phrase
eyeballs.
trigger something, did something with Rodney's plonker.
Unfold his plonker or something
Unfurled
like that.
Rodney's plonker.
Something like that,
Very
yeah.
much get the
Yeah.
feeling you started with that and then just work your way backwards.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it could be Only Fools and Horses, couldn't it?
Well, that's what Rodney did.
We
Oh,
did,
and
yeah.
in Ross's story, we had Woody shouting at Rex,
Oh,
fuck off, you tiny four-armed freak. No wonder you lot are extinct.
I agree with Dan.
So-
Russ's mic is a bit quiet. Again.
Oh, it's that flipping. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves.
But I mean, if we didn't, it'd be boring, wouldn't it?
Whereas, is mine overwhelmingly loud?
No,
They
it's
weren't
mine
It's a
talking.
tiny bit loud, but it's fine.
Reset
Oh,
something.
well, I can put the input down slightly. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, Dan did write the Thomas Tank Engine slash fiction, which was far and away the most threatening of all of them.
it was
Just getting started.
Just getting started. Yeah.
it was utterly
It was deeply
utterly
sinister.
terrifying.
It was,
you're very
it
loud
was
now,
reported to the relevant authorities.
You might need to turn down a little bit now, Russ.
I'll just
You're
move
quite
it
loud,
further away.
isn't it?
Yeah, now you're louder than disaster area, so you need to just spec it down a bit. Anyway, so as you can see from some of the examples that we threw out just there, searching questions are those nagging things that when you consume a bit of media, they're the things that are left in your mind going, but how does that work? Or why is that thing? Or why do they do that? What is actually going on when the Avatar things lock their tails in with those horses?
They're fucking,
Like,
Tom.
are they fucking? I
They're
mean,
fucking.
They're fucking.
They're fucking.
Yeah, it was. They're fucking. In this case, yeah, they're definitely doing that. And
They're fucking whales, they're fucking horses, they're fucking dragons, everything.
so, water, the little jellyfish things that float from the trees. So basically, what happens is when we answer those questions on this podcast, that's the answer. So you
Yeah.
can then go to the wiki or whatever other nerdy platform, Reddit, that you discuss these things on.
You fucking nerds.
Fucking nerds, and you can update that, and that's fact. So the fact that we've decided that the avatars are having sex with those horse things and it's not just basic animal husbandry, like you can put that in the wiki.
It's just another way of putting it, isn't it? Animal husbandry has always been a thinly veiled disguise for.
Okay, we are going back to this then. Yeah, fine. Okay. They are fucking because when they fuck, that's what they do. Okay?
But
there is a scene where they're clearly fucking and they do that in it. and then they wangle their fuck stick around, and then they go and shove it in a fucking whale or a horse or whatever. It's weird, right? It's not just me that thinks that.
Also, it's not like
Wangle.
it's not like they had to be like, well, no, that's just how these animals work. Like, you wrote that, you made them up, you made that up. So you decided.
It's a normal thing with animals.
Yeah, no. So in this universe, it's just the same. You know, you have sex using this thing, and then when you ride a horse, you slot it in exactly the same way.
Oh, yeah, but it's even creepier than that. There's no slotting in. It's like weird tendrils
Little
that do this.
fingers all grabbing
They-
each other.
You know, they link together.
Fucking
That's
doc.
weird. And I would not want that in my mouth.
I mean, it
Do you know
makes
what,
it
Tom?
69.
No one had suggested it, so now I kind of think you do want it in your mouth.
Well, no, but this is the point, isn't it? If a big, what are they called, navvy? Is that what
Yeah.
they're called, the navvy? If I was going to have sexual intercourse with one of these things, I don't have somewhere for that tail to go. So,
Oh, yes, you do.
well, no, I do, but I don't have the, it's like male to male USB. It would be like female to female USB. It just like there's nothing. I've not got the right connection.
I love the fact that you're describing male to male or female to female USB, not entirely understanding where the term male and female USB clearly comes from for that one reason.
Well, no, but that's the point. I'm saying if you have a male connection and a female connection,
Yeah.
USB, then that goes together. Brilliant. But I'm saying that it would be like a male to male or a female to female. Like it's not going to go together. Like because I don't have the connection tail, so I assume it's either going in my mouth or up my bottom. And so, I don't want
kind
to.
of wrap.
It's going to be
wrap
looking
round
for something to cling onto, isn't it? Which I'm
kind of
presuming
wrap
you don't
around
have.
you. Like,
Just
wrap
gonna
around
grab
you.
hold of my tongue.
Oh God, I've got
It's
life.
gonna grab
So
hold
you see this big
of-
blue head on the back of your head. Just
It's gonna grab hold of your penis.
till your eyes water.
Yeah, so it's all horrifying.
Well, it's good to see that we're tackling today with the same gravitas and seriousness as always.
Yes.
Searching questions, there is a different energy when we do searching questions, and I fucking love this energy. Kind of thrive off it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one to stop being a pussy and come back to.
Yeah, if you could stop being a pussy, Tom,
Yeah.
that would be great.
I'm not a pussy, I'm just flaky.
Can we just talk
Same
about how
thing.
Doug can sit there in a dressing gown with a bright red drink as well?
Was it a Singapore sling?
No, it's Ruby Left.
Oh, nice.
Ah,
But that's
Ruby
good,
Left.
actually.
Very
They're
nice.
actually really horrendous, but I'm drinking it because my
Bisto.
dad got it for me. Funnily enough, my dad gets us a beer that is suspect.
Podcast sponsored by Lef.
I would love that.
Enjoy
They
it
do
or
something.
not.
I do. I mean, actually, it's not. It's Emma really doesn't like it. I don't mind it. It did get a bit foamy in the kitchen though.
Podcast tonight is also sponsored by dressing gowns. Do you get cold at night? Do you feel like something should be over your clothes
I am in.
and make you warmer? Ruh.
But
Yes?
I don't want to turn the heating on, Tom, because the fucking government keep taking all my money.
That's right, Dan, they do. So there's a cost-effective way to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. It's called dressing gowns.
Oh,
For a £12.50 from your local shop, get yourself a dressing gown. We've got toweling, fleece, neoprene, latex rubber, any material you can think of for your dressing gown.
Velour. You mean
Velour.
velour? The one.
So it's as simple as that. If you don't want to cross the bridge of paying more money for your heating, dressing gowns.
Very well.
and also Captain Morgan Black Spice.
Yeah, you could just get.
I've not got
very
much
drunk.
left, so could I have more, please?
Yes. If we'd like to start a Kickstarter with the express aim of warming Dan's heart cockles, so more rum needed for Dan.
To warm Dan's heart cockles, give him some decent grey nights, and that will it.
Wasn't going to say anything, Duncan, but yes. Let's talk about Grey Knights again, shall we? Let's not.
No, we're
Just
not.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that pod. It was a can of worms.
I think
Yeah.
I'm going to start a check.
it's 25% less pussy, though. I love you, Tom. I promise you I'm joking.
Absolutely.
I love you too, Tom. I thought it was funny.
It's fine.
feel-
One of
I
you
feel
smells
like
of
you take it
seaweed,
into-
and the other one's the other one's rocking the geography teacher look still. So it's all good.
Hey,
And I'm a pussy.
I love you, Tom.
love
I
you
love you
too,
too.
Tom.
I love you too. It's good to be back. Right,
Good to have
shall
To
we?
get bullied.
Shall we do? It's okay. Bullying online takes like when it's like this, it takes on a whole different meaning. Because at any point, I could just click end call. Like, I never ever think about this conversation ever again. When it's in person, it's a bit harder. You know, you're sort of like, oh no, I'm being actively
God.
bullied. Yeah. Anyway, should we? Who would like to go first, or do you want me to do?
Well, I would say let's do Dan first because
Dan
I
Parry's
mean
belter?
he did suggest we do this last week, but then other shit happened and he's got this burning question. I think it's
I've got a
burning.
few. So like the idea of doing searching questions again came up when I was painting small models with my friend Dan, who is watching tonight. Hello, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
And we kind of had this joint idea of there was a thing we watched on Thomas Tank Engine, and there was a question we never really asked, which was, do the engines themselves have their own agency? Do they have their own ability to move? Do they have their own ability to think? Do they have cognitive thought without the drivers that are in them?
Yes.
Or are the drivers literally just there to keep them alive, basically, by stoking their fires? Like, could an engine, if it was well stoked enough, just go off on its own and do its own thing? Or is
I
it
mean,
so scared of being a bad engine that it refuses to do it?
I mean they sort of do their own
Do they? Like, when?
thing. One of the drivers in one of the Thomas and the Duchess, essentially it's him and I suppose it is the Fat Controller, but his actual driver gets left behind, and so they are no. Oh, and also there's the book of Where's Diesel. They play hide and seek, and that's just them on their own. And
Although
then there's
there is
the other
also-
cartoon version where they all just have their own agency.
Although there is also the episode with Gordon being told by his driver not to go so fast, but insisting that he can go that fast.
So what happens to him,
Okay.
Tom?
But he crashes.
Yeah.
And he's a very bad engine. I like to. I don't know. My whole thing is I think it's like, you know, the bit at the end of Matrix where which is funny to bring up, as you'll see later, where the architect goes, there are levels of survival we are willing to accept. I kind of think like the engines, when they're not having their fires stoked, they're just kind of offline, if you know what I mean. And
They
It's
do
like the last-
sleep, don't they?
yeah,
They do, yeah. They go into their shed and all sleep. at
and
the
then
same
they're
time.
woken up by a load of coal being shoved into their coal burning bit.
Which
And,
I'm assuming they need.
hmm.
Assuming in that sense they work like normal trains.
I think they're indentured servants. I think it's like prison camp kind of thing. Like they're very useful engines. Like
if
you know,
they-
that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Thomas wanted to be a very useful engine.
That's all they want to be,
useful
is very
engine.
useful engines.
I
As
think
well.
there might be a bit like in Cars when Lightning McQueen runs out of fuel.
Fuck, I hadn't even got to the Cars universe. That's
He
like a
doesn't.
gold
He doesn't
mine.
just like go completely inert. It's just that he's very like he can only go very slowly. So it's like I think it's more sort of like video game rules.
So it's like if normal people wake up and have breakfast and I wake up and have crack, don't have crack,
Yeah.
then I'm going to feel a bit like...
So if they don't have like cars, they can probably move around a little bit, but they have to go very slowly and they couldn't
They're-
really do anything.
There is an episode where Thomas is in Italy, and
How do you get to Italy?
How the fuck did he get to Italy?
Is this
boat.
that CGI new Thomas bullshit? Because
Don't
we will
count.
not have that in this house.
Probably. I don't know.
Right, fuck off. No, Thomas Tank Engine does not go to Italy.
He does.
Dan
Thomas
Dan
around
has some
the world.
comments.
He stays on
Um,
the island of Sodor.
He does.
No, he goes
That's
around
the,
the world. There's
the
a whole-
island of enslaved trains. Like,
I think they get fed. So yes, they need the stoking, which is just their food, but they've got their own cognitive ability, and the drivers are just a meat puppet to feed them.
So their faces, like you say, food. Obviously they get fed coal that keeps them alive. You never see them eating food. So their faces are effectively the user interface. aren't they? Like if you have to, if you really want to go and talk to the engine, you've got to go around to the face that will like, hideous smile. They'll look at you out the corner of its eyes. Yes, I'm ready. Like a ventriloquist dummy.
But did Thomas go to Italy because he felt like it, or did Thomas go to Italy because he was told to go to Italy?
Thomas went to Italy because he's a passport bro.
Ruka, I don't know. He was asked to go. Probably.
Yeah.
Famous engine, isn't it?
Thomas, could you get on this train line that doesn't run all the way to Italy? You might need to get a boat or two. I don't know. We need you to go and get some stuff from.
They had boats.
And so here's Dan's got some comments because Dan is obsessed with Thomas the Tank Engine. I don't want to care what
Yeah,
anyone
but he
says.
said, "I promise I'm not obsessed with Tank Engine," which is what anyone who is obsessed with anything says.
Yeah. There's
I'm
an
not a
episode where
fanboy.
Thomas tries to drive himself without a driver and he crashes and gets in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Yes. He also says, but even with the driver in control, the engines get in trouble whenever they mess up.
That's the bit that kills
This
me.
is true as well.
It's never it's like accountability in these drivers is like holy water on a vampire. Like they're just like, oh, it's the engine.
Drivers are merely meat puppets.
Yeah,
They
interesting.
are. They are literally just there to shovel them food.
Yeah.
That's it. And yet they don't get in trouble when the engines mess up. Now,
Also, the trucks, like in
what the
books,
fuck's that all about for starters?
the trucks
Yeah.
in what's his name? Salty the Dockyard Diesel. He goes and does.
Have we strayed into porn?
it almost.
Salty Diesel would be quite a good name, wouldn't it?
It's a great name. Salty the Dockyard Diesel.
Yeah,
Even better.
and the trucks are known
Really
for
niche
giving everyone trouble, and that's because they can move on their own agency.
Okay, yeah. So trucks can't move on their own agency, though, right?
Limited amounts. They can cause problems because they can control their brakes.
How the fuck are they causing problems?
Because they're
They
the troublesome
shan't.
trucks. They're a bunch of
They're
dickheads.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
trucks are
okay.
And they
shocking.
do once they've got momentum.
What you
they
mean, the-
seem to be
the-
able to shuffle a bit.
The
And they
trucks
can
are all
change-
black. Just putting
They-
that one out there. Sorry, Reverend, whatever your name is.
No, they're grey. Some of them are grey.
Okay. Sure thing.
While we're talking about troublesome trucks, what about Thomas's carriages, Annie and Clarabelle?
Yeah. The sister wives.
One
yes.
of which who has their face in the arse of the other, like the human centipede, and then the other one has their face in the arse of Thomas.
That's
Yeah.
just how
So-
trains be rolling, literally.
Yeah, but I mean, but the gap between Annie and Clarabelle is like, do you know what I mean? I can't, what do you think? How's it going back there, Annie?
You mean Thomas's sister wives, Annie and Clarabelle?
Do they
Well,
always
yeah.
go in the same
Yeah.
order, or do they swap around every now and then?
I think they test him. It's like, yeah.
Dan gets it.
Whose
Okay.
face is in your ass, Thomas? Is it Annie or Clarabelle? I'm gonna say Clarabelle because Clarabelle's nose is pointier.
No, it's always Annie and
it's always
Clarabelle.
Annie and Clarabelle.
That's how it goes. That's how
They're
it
like
works.
Ant and Dec. They're always in the same order.
Yeah, they're always on. Yeah, exactly. That's the only way to tell them apart, isn't it? Because they're
I'm gonna-
like,
I'm going to put it out there that sentient trains is a bit weird. A bit of a weird idea.
I don't think they've got as much agency as they let on. I think it's all clever subroutines
Yeah.
and AI and
AI faces.
It's steampunk.
I mean, it's literally, isn't
essentially
it?
it's steampunk.
There's no punk in this, though.
Except
It's
for the
just-
Well,
except
he's
for
not
the
the Fat Control anymore. He's
It's a Topham hat.
Yeah.
How did he get a fucking, like...
you got a name promotion.
Yeah.
And a big hat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. How the fuck, like, are we letting that happen?
What, the fat controller?
In fact, well, the Fat Controller becoming, like, knighted.
Well, yeah.
I mean, compared
also-
compared to a lot of the people that got knighted, he seems remarkably well qualified.
I mean, all he's really done is kept a Victorian-style, like, colonies island in check.
Yeah, they should call him someone else, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
Premier Topham Hat or something like that. I don't know. Or Commandant, I don't
Actually,
know.
That begs a question about is Sodor actually part of the UK, or is it basically a tax haven like
it's a good one.
Jersey and
It's
Guernsey?
I always
basically the
imagine it
Isle
like
of
a
Man.
Channel Island, like it's like or like a Channel Island or
Yeah.
something like that.
It is meant to be sort of roughly where the Isle of Man is, but it's a lot bigger.
All right.
Is that right? I didn't realise it was.
There is
I always
a
thought it was like Isle of
weirdly
Wight.
detailed amount of backstory about this because that reverend bloke that wrote it
Because there's cunts like us sitting
came-
around having these
no, the
exact
person that wrote
conversations.
it came up with like a really, really, really detailed backstory for it. So there are like maps showing where it is and how big it is, its economic relationship with the rest of the United Kingdom, what happened to it during the wars, how the language evolved there. Like the place names all have like etymological significance to them. They put way more thought than was necessary into the island of the sentient trains.
When Christopher
I
Columbus
appreciate that.
first discovered the island of Sodor, terrifying dinosaur trains.
So they do talk about like the mainland, and when they're talking about the rest of, well, they're talking about
Okay,
Great Britain,
which is
effectively.
fine. Does he
But they-
talk about how the trains become living trains, though?
That was the
Yes,
one
it's
area that they felt
because-
they could gloss over.
It's because the Shadow re-entered Sodor and started building the Dark Tower of Sodor.
got some fun comments here. Even that, yeah. So Paul says the Fat Controller's devious bastard got fat on the backs of these engines.
Nice.
Dan says Fat Controller's real name is Wilson Fisk, which is Kingpin, if anyone doesn't know. From Dev. You can imagine him. Gordon, you have betrayed me for the last time. Break him up.
They should have called like maybe the
Vanessa.
Fat Controller could have been something like Fisty McNiggins or something like that. It's a powerful name.
Do we think people escape to the island of Sodor to do things they shouldn't do? Do we think at some point the island of Sodor is going to be a bit like Epstein's Island?
Oh, do you know? I was just about to. I was just thinking it, but I didn't
Except
want to
for
say it out
people
loud.
that like doing stuff with trains.
Definitely.
You know they're out
These
there.
trains dancing in the background on the little turntable
They
thing,
also-
just rolling their eyes.
Whizzing round and round and round.
Like our youngest.
This is amazing.
Loves Thomas the
Wish
Tank
I'd come here
Engine.
years
We
ago.
do
Just-
have many Thomas the Tank Engine books, and they do have a Scottish castle on it. It's just called the Scottish Castle.
A literal rail of coke, just like just up the nose, just driving them along. Just...
Yeah, these trains are going really fast today. They are going to be fucked tomorrow.
Well, there is Gordon's Hill.
There is Gordon's Hill.
It
Yeah,
was Henry
so,
that got bricked up, not Gordon, wasn't it? Sorry, I got that one wrong.
I don't know whether it's Henry. I thought it was something. No, so Gordon and Edward, is that right? They're the
Edward's
ones
the
that...
red one.
Yes.
Gordon's the blue
sort of
one.
light sky blue one.
Yeah, and
big
Henry
locomotive.
got bricked up. Yeah,
Yes.
Henry's the longer green one.
yeah.
Edward is the slightly shorter than Gordon, but bigger than Thomas blue one.
So Henry's the red one, right? Henry's the
No.
red one.
No,
Percy's
Henry-
the little
Edward's
green
red.
one.
Okay.
James is red. James is red.
Just cut this coal with washing powder set off him. Sorry. Edward's red. Edward's blue. Edward's blue. Okay. Smaller
Henry
blue.
got bricked
Edward-
up.
Yeah, Henry got bricked up. So
Yeah.
Edward's the smaller blue one. James
got-
is the smaller red one.
All right.
Gordon's
all
the
right.
bigger blue one. Henry's the bigger green one.
All I'm saying is you're shouting at me, all right, Dan?
And Percy is the little
and this is
green
happening in
one.
front of people. Okay.
Sorry,
chubby
Tom.
green
We
one.
said that we wouldn't shout at each other in front of people.
Sorry.
And Toby is square.
Toby's just a bit of a cunt.
Well, and
really, isn't
Percy's the little green one, right?
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
chubby green one.
Chubby green. Chubby green.
he? Percy's the thick little engine.
Everyone has this different
He
taste.
is
It's
so
all good.
thick. But now there's Nia.
No, there's not. We've named
There is.
all the engines now. There's Diesel as well. Diesel's all right, and Daisy was all right as well. They can stay. And then Harold the helicopter and Bertie the bus, fine.
And then
But
there's
then that's
Salty
it.
the
Apparently near
Dockyard.
and far and closer
Yes.
together. Everywhere. and Forever. Anyway.
Trains.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question.
I think it did, but sure.
Genuinely
Well,
can't
no,
remember
for-
what the question was.
You were asking if they had agency, like, or if they, you know, if they are self-determining, if they can move on their own. I think we've covered quite a bit of that, Dan. Unless there are any other burning questions that you're still.
I mean, I've got others, but I mean, the point of it is we kind of go around and ask
Oh
questions.
yeah.
isn't it?
No, it's all right. You haven't forgotten how the fucking
Bunch of
format
near
works.
50-year-olds arguing over Thomas. Fuck you, 43.
Yeah, I'm
Hey.
41. Fuck
Yeah,
you. Who's Kisto?
Jack.
Oh, hey Jack.
Sorry, I
What up?
shouted him there, but yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. 50.
Arguing over. He has got a point though. We are arguing over Thomas the Tank Engine.
Well, yeah, that's not the point I'm pissed off about.
No. Near 50. How dare you?
50? I'm the youngest of the lot of them, and I yet look the oldest. It's so confusing. All right, who's next? Random light, shine your light. Why don't we go for one from Duncan?
Didn't feel
Oh, he looks pleased with himself. That's never a good sign.
which means he's not going to be able to get the actual question out.
I was going to say, it feels like this is winding up.
Better
Well,
be good, Duncan.
it's quite. No, it's not.
Better be
Obviously,
good.
it's not.
Better be
I've
good.
got a really silly one. We've probably covered it before, but it's just because I'm feeling silly. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
So it depends how. Firstly, it depends how strong the woodchuck is.
He's
Yeah, I mean,
probably one of these fucking show-off cunts on the Instagram that
Isn't
always
a
like,
woodchuck something
oh, I'm
like
just
quite
going
a
to take my shirt
small
off
bird?
and chop some wood because that's an important fucking job. Chopping wood. Cunts.
Those
hate
ones,
those
those,
fucking
Well,
those.
he's chucking wood. He's not chopping wood.
I know, but you know he's probably one of those pricks.
Is he
Yeah.
basically at a Highland Games hurling?
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Not a lot. They're small.
Yeah.
Who has ever
Isn't that broadly
questioned?
the answer?
Oh, yeah, woodchuck's a bird.
Well, no,
No,
because but
that's taken a while.
the second part of the verse has the answer. It doesn't matter how much wood that a woodchuck chucks because a woodchuck can't chuck wood.
Kills some time.
He can
Two.
chuck 2 wood. There we go.
He can chuck 2 wood. 2 wood. He's got.
It's not a lot.
I mean, it also depends what kind of wood, I guess.
Also, it depends on the
Balsa
time
wood.
frame.
Yeah.
In the
Are we
time
talking? Are we talking like tonnage of wood or sort of cubic meters?
I am, sorry, Brooke. I am a little bit jealous of the Instagram dudes, but also fuck them. I'm so wet today.
What, so you're
my
jealous of them?
rippling muscles.
You're jealous of them and you
Oh.
fuck them.
I'd like to, but they won't let me. They don't
I
answer
mean,
my
to be
calls
honest,
anymore.
I genuinely go onto these social media platforms and get irritated by anyone who's doing anything barely physical because my toxic trait is looking at people doing physical things like chopping wood and being like, if I could do that. And then I try and I realise I've got a blister immediately and I can't do it. So,
So,
You know,
of
I
course,
could do
you're,
that. Don't wanna.
no, I don't
Yeah.
want to.
I'll do it
and-
tomorrow though.
If I try it, I'll cataclysmically prove that I can't do these things. It's like the Outdoor Boys. I absolutely love that channel, and my toxic trait is believing that I could survive in the Arctic in a small tent with a tiny wood stove. I'd be all right. Be fine. What are you talking about?
And I have Wi-Fi though as well.
Yeah, they do have mobile signal, right?
Quite like to do a Sudoku.
Yeah, Wordle. Like to just...
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
you call it.
Mm.
And so there's a McDonald's out there, right? Like, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get a. I mean,
Deliveroo go this far, right?
just yeah, they'll be right.
That's what they used to say
it's
about
only
Ray
the
Mears,
rubbish
wasn't
chip
it?
shop.
He'd,
I want my chip shop.
he'd always go back to a hotel at the end of the night.
This is really fucking cold. Like, could you not insulate this at all on the drive over? It's like fucking.
I'm
Frozen.
sorry I don't know the number.
It's just the point
Yeah.
where I go, well, I actually do have 2 small hatchets and a nice big wood splitting axe.
Like, I mean,
Then
you
fucking
know,
do it. Get on there and do
do.
it. See,
So
and I
do.
bet, and you not looking like one of these 7-foot tall Greek gods that's fucking on there. Like
No,
you probably
I look like a homunculus.
you don't,
Oh,
Duncan. You're a very good
Mate,
looking man.
you don't.
But at the same time, like
Don't.
you prove that the only reason people watch these is because they want to see giant men pull wood apart by their fucking
And what,
hands.
because no one
Oh,
actually wants to see someone who might be marginally now thinking, I really identify in Lord of the Rings as a dwarf, more than possibly a hobbit. But what they really want to see a slightly overweight man,
You're
hairy chest, splitting wood.
let's
Of course
let's not
everyone does.
let's not make a mistake. Duncan's a good looking dude, okay? So for starters, he's a
But he
good
hasn't
looking.
got-
But these guys are like, I don't know, fucking idiot.
They're on another level. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane.
That being said, if Henry Cavill did it, I'd watch.
I would hose my office walls down with jism if Henry Cavill did it. Like, I can't control myself around that man.
I mean,
Around that man. I can't control myself when I see a picture of him. I've never actually encountered him in the wild.
I
he's
saw a
more
video of
likely
him
to-
saying "good boy" earlier, and that was just like, oh, Henry.
Snake Fen. Stop it. Like, I always imagine he's congratulating me for doing like really nice paintwork on a little Warhammer miniature.
I
Of his-
hate
of
that
his choosing.
the conversation I would have with Henry Cavill is the same one that any nerd would have with Henry Cavill. Like, I don't think I'd be able to
Why
bring up anything
custodies?
remotely interesting. No, I'd be like, Henry, I built my PC too, and I paint little models as well. Henry, do you want to see my models? Henry, do you like my models? Do you like how they look? Can you look at my model, please?
The thing is, though, he seems to genuinely like those conversations. When you
Either
when
that,
you
or he's
see
just
him.
really fucking good at acting and wants the Warhammer gig that's going to make him loads of money.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he's
That's-
quite
that's a-
passionate about it.
that's a long con if he's playing that.
Yeah. Anyway, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Not a lot.
I think it
Twigs.
depends. Yeah, twigs. Yeah, like small amounts. Depends how long they're doing it for.
Sorry, I just.
I don't think they
it's
could
a-
chuck it unless they sort of flick their head with it, throw it out their beak.
Hmm.
Because they don't have hands.
No. Congratulations. No, they don't have hands.
Because they're what are they
birds.
like mongoose? Oh, they're birds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not mongoose then. Not like mongoose. Not like a ferret.
No.
They've
No.
got paws and they would actually be able to chuck it. They're
Yeah.
sort of reasonably
Yeah, but
good.
you say that, but they're only going to be like grabbing it. They've got no fingers, so they're just if they had paws, they'd sort of be.
I didn't actually intend this to go on for as long
Duncan, what's the animal that could chuck the most wood?
as. Beaver.
You reckon?
Nice
yeah.
beaver.
Who
A
doesn't like
nice
wet beaver?
big beaver. Yeah. There we
Or
go.
actually, some crows. Crows, because they're bloody clever. They
Okay, so
actually
crows are okay chucking wood, but woodchucks can't.
Yeah, crows are really clever. Like New Caledonian crows are known for using tools. And let's face it, primates. Other primates could probably chuck shit loads of wood, and also elephants. Elephants
Well, I
are
feel
known
like
for
there's-
carrying wood. So
I feel like there's avian discrimination going on here.
Feels like
where,
it. Yeah, certain crows can
Where,
chuck wood.
where a murder of
Yeah.
crows are allowed to chuck wood around, but
oh, I mean,
A chuck of woodchucks.
yeah,
a woodchuck, if it could chuck wood, might be up there with a crow, but I doubt it because crows are really clever. And
Okay, but we are assuming. Yes, Jack says, I reckon a blue whale could chuck wood quite well. I agree. The fish, the blue whale, could definitely chuck.
Ah!
Hang on, you're going to anger all of our marine lovers.
Yes.
Is a whale is a fish though, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
is
in
it?
water.
Is it in
It's
the
got
sea?
tails, it's got flippers.
Yeah.
Fish.
I mean, a duck is a fish, so
Does
Are
it smell-
whales
It's
closer
not.
to
Duncan,
seals
is a duck in the
than
sea?
fish?
No.
yeah,
No, it's
Um,
not.
yeah.
Whales are
No,
fish
ducks
'cause
are in
they-
the pond.
Common scoter is a type of duck, and widgeons are in the sea, and they're also a type of duck.
Yeah, enough of your
And fat
techno science babble. Are ducks in the sea?
Techno science.
Yes or no?
Techno science is what I'm going to
Russ
do
from
with,
nowhere has become
electric,
the Piers Morgan of this podcast.
Is what I'm going to do with Electric Cool Boy.
Okay, so
Ducks aren't
fish,
in the sea, so they're not fish.
whales and dolphins are fish because they smell a bit fishy.
Yeah, fine. Like
There we go.
to be a fish is a life strategy, so it doesn't.
Mhm.
There is no such thing as a fish.
No.
So is a blue whale
big
closer
fuck off.
related to an otter than it is?
Yes.
Oh right.
Interesting.
To what?
That big fish.
From
Otter-
Big Fish, Little
otters
Fish,
are
Cardboard
fish.
Box.
Otters are
So
fish.
ducks are lizards like dinosaurs. Yeah, fuck yeah, there we go. Ducks
Yeah.
are dinosaurs.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Fishy things are fish.
All I say.
Whales and
is-
dolphins are fish.
All I say about the whole bird dinosaur thing. Look at the bird's legs.
Yeah.
Explains everything.
Have you seen a rhea? I mean,
I mean, I've seen a few.
One or two.
or it's the cassowary that can sort of basically gut you with its foot
Um,
because
Oh,
it's
God.
essentially
So,
a modern velociraptor.
an issue with our woodchuck question. In that we're
It's-
assuming the
I mean,
woodchuck.
the answer has dragged on for half the pod now, but
I know. Now I'm determined to make it a thing because Duncan wanted it to be a flippant little comment. So, like, we're assuming in this instance the woodchuck can chuck wood.
A woodchuck is a rodent. It's a groundhog.
Is it? I thought it was a bird.
I thought it was a
for some reason.
bird.
fucking told you. I fucking told you. I nailed it. I told you it was like a ferret
I
or
don't-
something.
Fucking
the
believe
groundhog,
you.
Marmota monax, also known as the woodchuck, is a rodent. They're fucking cute.
No, I'm
can
pretty sure
chuck
it's in my head. I'm pretty sure it's a bird.
But he's just basically a groundhog. Yeah.
It's
I
gonna
fucking
chuck
told-
loads of wood.
I
it's,
knew
it's
it.
a rodent. It's bloody smart. if it put its mind to it, it would be chucking wood. It would see you and throw wood at you.
So
Right.
woodchuck could chuck wood.
Yeah, probably.
So,
Put mine
so
to it.
therefore, like what we've established is that we let this roll on for a very long time. Whereas if we'd been smart about it, we would
And
have
looked up
googled what a
Wikipedia.
woodchuck is and immediately gone, "Oh, it's got little paws." So yeah, it probably could chuck wood. It probably does. It probably like burrows and like chucks it out the back. That's why they.
Got Marmota monax as well.
Woodchucks don't actually chuck wood, so there's no real answer to the question. I'm just looking it up now. Estimates the woodchuck would chuck about 700 pounds of wood based on the amount of dirt they move when digging burrows.
Boom.
I
there's our
mean,
answer.
over what period of
Yeah.
time though? Otherwise, that's meaningless.
24
Woodchuck was Woodchuck a character in DuckTales? Woodchuck
Dunno.
Tales.
I don't know. He might have been
Life
be a
is
gangster if
like
you
a
watch.
hurricane. Yeah, right.
here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers. Is that right? Airplanes here in.
Duckburg.
Might rewrite history.
No, it's
Or
might
solve
solve
a
a
mystery.
or
Or
rewrite
rewrite
history.
history.
DuckTales,
DuckTales.
woohoo! We're fucking sorting everything out in Duckburg.
Right,
You fuckers.
next question. Sod it. Tom,
Right.
You're searching light of truth or whatever.
Russ. Your questions. Oh.
Oh, just quickly. Junior Woodchucks are a scouting organisation in DuckTales. There we go.
Nice.
Very nice. There you go, Dark Horse Dan. Answer to
Google.
your question.
Uh, So my first question is outer space or inner space. So you can either go on a brief trip into outer space, but in like Star Trek style. So you're on a nice spaceship. You can go a really long way. There's a replicator.
Is there
No
Is there a
holodeck.
holodeck? No,
There's not a holodeck.
I'm out.
But there are like sort of alien races of sexy people who are painted green that you can meet.
Go
Or
on.
you can go inner space. You can go in a little capsule and get shrunk down and injected into the person of your choice. It doesn't have to be Martin Short, can be if you want. And same rules apply as for inner space. You can talk to the person and you can see and hear what they see and hear through the monitors in your capsule.
Can I
What
fuck
would
with
you what would you go for? And if you're going inner space, who are you getting injected into?
Could you actively harm the person?
That's how I'm.
I mean,
thinking
you
about it.
could do if you were driving around in a tiny submarine in them. You could go in there. You could,
Cause a stroke?
you could cause a stroke. You could interfere with their heart. You could just go and start slicing off pieces of their brain. Don't
Yank
think you
off
should, but you could
Is
do.
this a piece of your brain?
Yank on a few nerve endings in.
Paul
awkward
says, "Sexy
places.
green aliens, please."
hmm
Well,
I think
I
for the
have to
Star
say,
Trek one, it's
though-
like, let's say it's like a 3-day trip.
That's my favourite intro to Star
but
Trek.
with no
3-day jaunt.
with no
Three stop.
holiday. Yeah, our 3-day mission to go to the end of the solar system and back again. The lack of holodeck sadly turns me immediately off.
Just-
of the
it's
Star
It's
Trek
even
idea.
worse. There is a holodeck, but
It's out of order.
your security pass doesn't let you in there, and there's a big out of order sticker on the window.
Oh yeah,
You-
well,
but you can hear
reopens
things
in
going on in
4
there.
days. Reopens in 4 days. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
sounds like someone is having an amazing. Someone who keeps coming in and out. Like they leave and then they
Yeah.
come back with a bag of peanuts, or they leave and they come back with coconut water.
That pale
Barclay
fucker
has it
just
booked
came-
out for the entire 4 days.
That pale fucker just come out dressed as Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
What the hell is going on there? He looks knackered. He looks like because I think we've already established that holodeck technology is something that none of us.
It's
should
something
be
that no
trusted
human
with.
should be trusted with.
No, I mean the things that would. Anyway,
As soon as anyone gets a VR headset, the first question they get asked is, "It's a porn, yeah?" Like
I mean, is there any other reason to?
there was a fad about 5 years ago where people were getting like cardboard boxes to put their phone in to experience VR porn. Like,
Really?
you can't trust people with
Cardboard boxes.
You look like the cardboard cutout. You hold your phone up there, and it's like it's meant to simulate VR. But like,
Oh no, I
That missed that.
It's-
That bypassed me.
know what you mean. It's like a little holder thing, and
Yeah.
it's got lenses in there.
Mm.
So if you're watching stereoscopic 3D content on
Yeah.
your phone, it's holding it in the right way, and your left eye sees that side, your right eye sees
Oh,
that side.
fuck it. Tom's ordering one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just hang on, no, don't. I'll just keep the screen off.
Got technical issues.
Yeah. So it was-
Captain's log, stardate 4023.
Yeah,
We're on a mission returning a 21st century pervert from.
If you
just,
kill,
I'm just
if-
taking a look
so-
around. All right.
So with the inner space, are we saying that if you killed your host, you get trapped in there, and you wouldn't be able to get out?
No, I
Apparently,
think
what
there's
we've
like
learnt is-
you would be. Well, I mean, in inner space, he escapes by gets out through the tear duct, I think, doesn't he? But like, let's assume you can extricate yourself safely.
Well, I suppose that if you killed someone, then you could get out by when they defecate everywhere. So you could get out in the river of shit that comes out.
Can I?
I mean, it's
Be
up to
in-
you. You might get in trouble for killing this person.
Can I do the inner space, but for someone that's on the starship?
Ah,
going into outer
nice workaround.
So I'm going to spend 3 days on there and then
Loophole.
3 days on the ship.
But you wouldn't actually get to you. All you'd get to do is like ride along in the person. You wouldn't really get to go out and explore and have fun in the spaceship.
No, I just want to tell my enemies I went to space, though.
Yeah, I suppose that would
Tell
that
your
would work.
enemies.
Yeah, I said what I said, Tom.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. I just want to
Could
tell my
you-
enemies that I went to Warhammer World.
Could you do the inner space with
Tell them
someone
that
who
they'll beat you
does
up.
have access to the holodeck? And
See, I
then you
feel
suggest
like
everything.
you're just trying to find legal loopholes that let you unrestrictedly
Right.
into the
So here's
holodeck.
the plan. We are injecting into Lieutenant Barclay, okay? Who's going to get us into the holodeck and get the holodeck working. We're going to kill him while he's in the holodeck, and then we're going to have wholesome fun on the holodeck for 3 days.
So the problem there is that you would have to spend some time watching and seeing what Barclay does in the holodeck, and that is going to traumatize you so deeply that you'll just be a shivering wreck.
I don't.
4 days in the holodeck. Can you imagine how dehydrated you would be after 4 days?
I don't want to be. Oh, this sounds bad, and I don't mean it to come out as it's going to, but I can't think of a better way of saying it. I don't want to be inside most people. Okay, so like, I don't. If there's someone I don't like, I don't really care what they do if I'm not there. And if there's someone I do like, I don't want to. I don't want to be. God, I'm trying to find a better way of wording this. I
Well,
can't.
you don't want to be.
I don't want to be inner space them. I can't say I don't want to be in them. I can't say I don't want to be inside them. So So
you could be riding inside Henry Cavill for a few days, watching out of his eyes as he gets dressed in the bathroom every day.
Then you've clearly misunderstood what I said when I said that to you, Russ, because that's not how I meant it to happen. I meant when I said I would like to ride in Henry Cavill.
You want to arrive in Henry Cavill?
I would like to, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm having one.
Just wanted to make sure we were clear on where you wanted to arrive.
And you're going to get spaffed over Hollow Councillor Troy. This is true. It's one way out, isn't it? I'm scared of space. I also can we guarantee there's going to be no like Borg or Klingons or anything like that?
I think you'd
Russ
probably
already
be
said
fine.
it was like a safe, nice trip on a nice ship. You know, it's 3 days. 3 days.
They're not relying on me to fix anything in this instance.
No,
are they,
you're
right?
like a guest on the ship.
And full access, apparently, apart from the holodeck.
From the holodeck.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get to play that weird like racquetball game they play.
Yeah, you can have a go at that. I mean,
Yeah.
we seem to have assumed we're on the Enterprise D. That's okay.
Do you know what?
I'll be on the Enterprise D, Russ.
I'd love to go to
Yeah.
space. As a big fan of Outer Wilds, I'd love to
I-
go to space.
I just don't know who. Inner space doesn't appeal to me because I don't know who it would be that I would want to inner space into. Because
To be honest,
because-
inner space
yeah.
would be a lot, just be really dark
Mhm.
most of the time. Apart from if you just sat behind their eyes.
Well,
And
but
then
also
you
your little
really
capsule
see-
thing is equipped with powerful floodlights, so you can always see what's going on around you.
But then it doesn't really matter which body you go in.
No, but I'm sure it'd be pretty interesting.
It all looks quite similar, doesn't it? We're all,
I mean,
we're all the
if
same
you
on the
could
inside.
interact with the thoughts.
I mean,
that
to
would be
say-
cool.
to
but-
say to Dad,
You could like reenact that episode of Futurama and tickle the the pelvic splagnet ganglion.
to talk to Dan's point, like there's not many people that I'd feel comfortable being inside. In fact, really, the only person that I'm, acceptably allowed to be inside is my wife. So I'd probably have to say if I was gonna in a space, it would be in my wife
My wife.
because that's okay. I'm allowed to do that. But I feel like space would be more appealing. I'd love to be in space. Although to be fair, I wouldn't really know, would I?
Are we going
You could
anywhere
just
on the
fake it.
spaceship?
No, it's just 3 days.
Well, just wherever
Probably
you can get in
far.
3 days. But I mean, at, like warp 9, that's a very long way.
But then wouldn't it just look like more space? Like you get warp 9, day and a half away, and then
I think
you're like,
I'm-
oh look, we're here. And you're like,
I'm
You've
leaning
probably got
to
time
where
to get
Tom
to
is
one
heading.
planet and then come back again.
Like a space cruise where we're all going to catch like COVID on it or something like that. Yeah. Like
what happens if I miss the ship back? If I go on shore, like if I go off onto the planet, and someone like rings a bell.
I feel
and
like these are
miss it.
very nitty gritty questions that are getting asked here. You would you have a locator on you and you'd be teleported back on board.
Oh, like literally like hoiked.
Yeah.
So if I was doing a bit of nude sunbathing on this other
Beamed
planet, they would
straight
literally
back in.
just appear lying down on the transporter deck floor, nude,
Just
with
with
my
those
balls out.
2 tiny little sunglass things on.
Yeah. What has happened?
I think I'm kind of leaning where Tom I feel is heading, which is I'll probably just stay at home, innit?
Yeah, it's all sounding like a real hassle. I mean, maybe I'll agree to do it, and then I won't turn up. I'll just vibrate the habit of a lifetime. I'll just
Sure.
Just stay at home and watch like I don't know, Disney Plus.
Futurama.
Yeah. I would replicate a ton of money with the replicator to take home with me. It's a good point.
Oh, that's good.
Don't the
Oh, we
replicators
are-
have things that would stop? I think they have like safeties built into them that stop you doing anything illegal with them.
I know, but I've got my boy Duncan inner spacing the guy that can get round that.
Ah, yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Duncan's
no.
our ace in the hole.
We had a Duncan. We had a vote. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're
I never-
inner
You'll take one for
spaces.
the team.
Yeah.
So, going back to inner space, did you say you can hear their thoughts and interact?
Not their
Yeah.
thoughts. You can hear what they hear and
Yeah.
see what they
Duncan's
Duncan's
the
a
say.
biologist on here, by the way. It's worth noting.
Yeah,
Get
no,
this dickhead out of me.
So in
Russ
it, he
is-
has like transducers that clamp onto
Does
something
he?
in the ear, and he has
You
like
can
a
hear what
weird.
people are saying.
It looks really horrible actually. It's like this thing that spikes into the back of the eyeball, and then somehow that lets him see
Yeah.
whatever Martin Short's seeing on a
And
telly.
it's Dennis
how- I don't-
Quaid, isn't it? It's Dennis
yeah,
Quaid, isn't it?
but I don't
Yeah.
know quite how you go from like human eyeball to HDMI. I don't really know how that would work. But
So I can see what they're
Also,
seeing.
The eyeball sees everything upside down. The brain
Hmm.
flips it, so you're basically seeing everything upside
well,
down.
like the raw picture from your eyeball would be a fairly random. Like
I
your
think
brain
we-
does a lot of processing on that image to.
I think if
Yeah.
we've got the technology
make sense.
to make ourselves small and go inside someone, I think we've got the technology to flip the picture.
Okay, I'm going to space.
I'd probably go to space. The only thought I
think
now
all of us
had is
going to
if
space.
I can see and hear what's going on, maybe Henry Cavill's wife.
Oh.
Ah.
Didn't think about that, did we, guys?
No, there you go.
No.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
but then
you could
I
clamp onto various nerves and find out where the pleasure zones are, and then just experience what she experiences.
I'm just gonna.
I made it
It's
very clear
unrivaled
you can see what
bliss.
they see and hear what they hear. That's it.
No, we're developing this technology, Russ. Let's roll with it.
yeah, we've got a national diploma
I
in
feel like
technology.
In a sort of roundabout way, just come back to what you'd be doing in the holodeck anyway.
Bingo.
Yeah, I'll be in space.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll go
no,
space.
I'll say I'll be in space, but I'll be at home.
Wife comes up. Are you meant to be in
And/or
space
start
today?
soon, Tom.
No, I can't be asked.
Yeah, but
Someone else will go.
yeah, it's a 3-day thing.
Isn't that an incredible, unlikely to ever happen again opportunity? It's a shag and hassle there, isn't it?
That's fine.
That Riker fella's a bit much.
I don't. My passport's only got a few months left on it. Like,
I didn't get a visa.
space
Russ, what
visa.
would you do?
Or an Esther in this case, I think it would probably be. But like,
Space
you know,
Esther.
yeah. I'm just gonna stay at home. Andor starts soon,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah,
Oh,
it's set in space. But you know,
yeah.
fucking yes. By the way, Andor, bring it. Can't come soon enough. Both trailers look fucking awesome.
Yeah, I want it.
want it as well.
This is going to be good. This is it for Andor, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 seasons. This one's going to cover 4 years, and it ends at the start of Rogue One. Literally, where the first time you see Andor, like it's him coming round the corner is where it ends apparently.
Love it. Yeah, that's gonna be good.
At the beginning of Rogue One.
Yeah.
So they're just. I mean, I love the fact they're just like, no, 2 seasons. That's and done.
Well, that's how it should be done.
I agree.
Agree.
Russ, what would you do?
Those are
In
for us.
a
Oh yeah,
outer-
would you go in space or out of space?
Space, probably.
Yeah.
Spice.
Space.
Spice.
Tom.
Your searching question.
So, at the end of the Matrix,
Mhm.
Reloaded,
No.
Neo goes into
Can't
that room,
remember.
Yeah.
and the architect spin around and goes, "I've been waiting for you,
Yeah.
Neo." He doesn't do a very good job of convincing Neo to go, to the source and restart the Matrix so that no one dies.
Hmm.
What would you have said to Neo at that point? Just at the point where he's like, "No, I'm going to save Trinity." You as the architect, what are you going to say to Neo to convince him to save the human race, the rest of them that are in the Matrix, from certain death?
Shit, Tom.
I figure this is a question that needs answering. Because it's the most anticlimactic ending to a film ever. It's walking into that round room and an old dude being there. "They've been waiting for you."
And just spaffing off a load of really confusing stuff that makes no fucking sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say
Isn't Trinity dead by this point?
She's fighting an agent at this point.
I would
I
say
thought she got spiked.
That comes later.
Oh, that's in Revolutions, the next film.
so she dies anyway.
Yeah.
So I would say she's going to die regardless of whether you go through that door or not. At some point soon, she will die. You can't save her. Also, I would say, how would Trinity feel if you doomed the entire human race for her? Trinity is the one you want to save so badly. How would she feel if the guilt of the entire human race was on her shoulders? It's the same thing I'd say to Joel in Last of Us, by the way, as well.
Oh, that's
But yeah.
interesting.
There's no funny knob gags there, I'm afraid. But yeah,
I'd try and talk him down. Just be like, "Hey, come on. We've done this 5 times before. Like,
she'll be all right.
Just, come on. I mean, it's business."
Does he have the capacity to lie to her? Him, sorry.
What?
Can the architect lie to Neo?
So I mean, effectively, he is lying to him. I think we sort of discovered that he is lying. That actually, it won't cause a cataclysmic system crash. That as long as Neo, because by that point Smith has taken over, which has never happened before. So they're actually dealing with a completely different situation. Than they ever have. So the architect is kind of lying to him at that point anyway. I think I try. I mean, it's my nature. I try and talk him down. I'd just be like, "Oh, no. I mean, seriously, they're all going to die. Like, all of them. Like, millions upon billions of humans. They're all going to die because you're going to go and save one. Like, it's my eyes got. Oh,
I'd lie to him. I'd say she's going to be absolutely fine. Just go this way.
Just go that way. No, you just tell him the wrong door.
Yeah, there you go.
That way lies the Matrix and Trinity. This way though just goes to the source. But you don't want to do that. You want to go and save Trinity. So go through that door.
Yeah, absolutely. Joker in Dark Knight him. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, but when Neo starts going towards the other door, like, "Oh, I'm not going to take the door you told me to." Hopefully, I'll have
reverse psychology, the motherfucker.
Mind fucked him.
Mind fucked him. Yeah.
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 Can you feel me now? I'm fucking you in the mind. Hopefully he'd go that way.
Yeah.
Duncan and Russ, what about you two? What would you do? What would you have said?
Because everything that dude comes out with is very confusing.
Neo, you fucking muppet.
Is that based on what Paul Edge said? I'd have got Ray Winston to play the architect. Shit's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd quite like
it's, uh,
to. I'd quite like to spill something very staining over his white suit because he looks like he'd get extremely flustered and then not be able to get through the rest of his speech. And probably just like that. You know, fuck it. I need to go and get this spot cleaned immediately.
clumsiness. It is the quintessential human flaw.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking? Jar of barbecue sauce? I mean, you know, he's
Probably
already
like
dressed
like
Custer.
Piccalilli, I think.
A piccalilli,
Yeah.
bright yellow, radioactive yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's quite good.
Yeah, Dan noticed the panda.
I'm having fun.
The
Panda.
architect is the big daddy of the
Panda.
machines. He could just call the agent of Trinity. Yeah, well, no, architect isn't the big daddy of the machines. Deus Ex Machina that you see at the end of the next one is, and the architect is just the guy that created the Matrix. That's all he is. And he's literally that last. What does he say? He says something about the function of the one. Like the function of the one is now to return to the source. Like all the anomalies that could possibly exist in the Matrix are all, and it's the choice thing. I think, isn't it? Neo is the remainder of the equation where everyone has a subconscious choice to be in the Matrix or not, and he's like the embodiment of no. So the machines give this one person loads of powers to make them almost messianic, like the one. Oh my god, the one's amazing. And
It's
then
fucking bollocks.
I know it's you know, the more I talk about it, the more
Yeah.
frustrating it gets, and the more I don't think Neo's worth fucking talking around.
The
Bollocks
first
to
one's
him.
wonderful. Yeah, fuck him. Let him do what he wants. I'll be a battery. It actually seems preferable to real life right now. So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you'd be Cypher from the first film.
100%. Yeah.
So I want to be an actor, someone
Yeah.
important.
I want to remember nothing. Nothing.
No, and I want, you know, a meatball sub delivered to my room every morning. You know, and
And I want a holodeck.
I want a holodeck.
Mhm.
And
I
I
know
want to be
this is
someone.
fake, but
And I want a fake steak every day, but I don't want to know it's a fake steak. I want it seasoned just right with salt.
There we go.
And I want a big ass dick.
And by big, I mean massive.
Yeah, but not like so big that people get scared of it.
I mean,
Like,
Greg
you know, just-
Olsen
just-
big.
Yeah, we're talking, you know, like Ron Jeremy size. I can still do stuff with it. It's not like freakishly big, you know. I just want to be really. You know, that's the bit he keeps going back to. I just want to really just the dick thing. Could I just?
I feel like we glossed over it.
I think I just want to, you know, because I know you guys can do anything, but I won't remember this. You know, if I go in there and it's too big and freakishly weird, like I won't know. I'll have to. So like, I'm gonna draw a. Have you got any paper? Okay, so I'm gonna draw. You know, I think that's the point. And don't make the balls too small. Like they have to.
Proportion.
Yeah, they have to fit.
If anything, a little bigger than proportionally average.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
I might follow this up with an email.
Just to make sure. Just so
to-
I've got it in writing. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. If you could just reply to that, just with a no, thumbs up.
Just sorted it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Cool. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And I'll get you the codes. Well, I won't get you the codes. I'll get you the man who can. Who's
If you
got
send
them.
an email, do you think you get an automatic response of going, "Thank you for your email. We will respond to you within 5 to 10 working days."
Yeah. I
Yeah.
reckon
Oh,
they'll do
shit,
that.
I've got 5 to 10. I'm going to see the Oracle now.
I got another one, by the way, guys. If we're good to go for another round, I know it's
Mhm.
late, but this is special pod and all that. Okay, so elves in Lord of the Rings are immortal, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Why are there not more elves? Because surely they're still fucking, right? Yeah. Here's a banana for scale. Nice one, Dan.
Right.
Is
so
is that how we get baby elves? They don't do anything weird
Yeah.
and magical.
No, I think they do procreate.
This is
Yeah,
this
sex.
is this is Brooke's question, by the way. So I will
Um,
give credit where it's due. The first one was Dan's
they-
question because he loves Thomas Tank Engine.
I think they've just got quite a low libido. I don't think they're fucking all the time, but they do. There are meant to be like child elves. Tolkien doesn't really go into it that much. I mean, he brushes over a lot of
Fucking nerd.
sex.
Yeah.
But Beren and Luthien obviously have sex because
Mhm.
he's Beren being human, and the first first union between elf and men. So it does. I think actually the women have the highest sex drive than the male elves.
I get that, because I look at the female elves and I think, then if you look at the male elves and you're like, sometimes you just want like an Aragorn or like a
Yeah, you
Geralt
look
or
at
something
Aragorn,
like that. Yeah.
and then you look at Legolas or Thranduil, and you're like,
They're mostly dudes by the looks of it. This is true.
well, not in the Silmarillion and like the Lost Tales and shit. They obviously there's a lot more fucking. A lot of them were just created. Like in the first instance, a lot of them were created, and then they were given the chance for immortality. But they do fuck. There are, because Legolas is obviously a child. It's totally what the wood elves called, but he's a wood elf. So they obviously have some degree of sex.
They're the Mirkwood elves, is that
the
right?
Greenwood.
Whatever, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't...
And what was Orifir was Thranduil's father, and the Wood Elves actually sent a force to the last alliance, but because their armor was shit, they got massacred, and Thranduil's father led the forces, was at the front, but he was one of the first ones to die. So, bit shit.
So elves just don't want to fuck too much. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, they don't fuck too much.
Okay,
I
so
think it takes a while for them to.
is that why Haldir gets so excited when he turns up at Helm's Deep and he's like, "Men, let's go. We're here to fight with men and do other things, guys. Let's go."
In the movies, that's why he gets excited, but obviously in the books, the elves don't turn up to Helm's Deep. It's the
They don't, do they?
Rangers.
Who is it
the
that rocks
Rangers
up
of
there?
Dunedin.
That's it.
Dunedin.
Dan's answer's the best one, and as far as I'm concerned, when we do the wiki page, I think this is the answer. Dan says, "I reckon the elves are a bit like bees; it drops off after they do it."
Maybe that's true. Or it takes them like a century and a half to
grow it back,
to sort of regain their pep.
The elves have complete control over their body, so I would say that they can choose whether to have a child or not. I think they just fuck and they just have sex for fun, or everything for fun, and then they realise that they can't go on because otherwise they're going to create a new evil, and so they have to stop because otherwise it's just because otherwise they just get too carried away. And
I think they just spend too much time wandering around looking at leaves and reading poems.
Yeah, getting all horny.
Well, they're just a bit sad.
I think Warhammer does it better. Not often I'll say that about Tolkien, by the way. I don't think
Warhammer does it better.
I don't think Warhammer does it better, by the way. I think Tolkien did a pretty fucking amazing job of, creating all of this for us. But
we'll let the family know, Dan. Just let you know,
if
Tolkien. We think he did a great job.
Good job, guys. Well done.
Yeah.
A good solid 8 out of 10. I would say, like, surely the Eldar in 40k, which is that they got bored and just fucked and started killing each other.
Yeah.
If you got...
Well, I mean, to be fair, the elves did do quite a good job of killing each other as well.
True.
Like, in the first age, there was a huge civil war, and there was a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
There was, and by the time of the third age, they were just like, we're really tired of this world. We've got a lot of sadness. There was a lot of death. We lost really badly against someone who is far more powerful than Sauron. All the really cool guys and girls are now gone, and only Galadriel is the last one of the first stage who properly remembers the first stage and was there when originally from the west, and she came over the sea with the first wave, and she is technically one of the Noldor and one of the last remaining Noldor. Yeah,
I think if I was Neo, and that was the speech that the architect had just given me, I would have said, which door takes me to the garbage chute, just so I could go into the incinerator. Just I'm done with this fucking world. You want me to what? You want me to insert myself into the sauce? Brilliant. Do that. I'll do. Yep, I'm done. What, will I? Will I be? No, I won't be able to hear. Brilliant.
We might do searching questions every week.
Architect turns around and Neo's like already dissolved and gone.
He's literally pushing him. Yeah, he's dissolved like Yoda in Return of the Jedi, like a bath bomb in an overly hot bath.
Yeah, I was wondering a very similar question whilst going through some Lord of the Rings lore, because reasons. Actually, it was just because Andy Serkis was reading it, and Andy Serkis reading anything is the best thing ever.
I fucking agree with that. He's brilliant. Stephen Fry, though, on the other hand, I found really disappointing reading the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Really disappointing.
He's just a bit disappointing in general at the moment, isn't he? But,
utterly.
Yeah.
Mr. Smarty Pants does not come across as Mr. Smarty Pants anymore.
No, I agree. But yeah, okay. Kind of answered.
I find that really interesting. Though I didn't know anything about that. I just assumed the elves multiple or didn't or couldn't. I didn't really kind of think that it.
Yeah,
was,
I saw them as sort of like static. Like
Elrond had sex.
Because
he's got 3 children. He's got 2 boys and Arwen.
Yeah.
But like, do elf children they don't just like pluck them out of a waterfall or something?
Man, they get down.
Just fucking Enya playing in the background of everything they do.
Tolkien didn't go into details of childbirth. In fact, Tolkien doesn't do anything like that because he doesn't even talk about when they go to the toilet. Like, how did the Fellowship wipe their asses?
They just let it fall and lie where it
out in the country.
Let it lie where it fell.
Leaves.
How do you wipe your ass, Tom? Duncan. Fuck, sorry. Also Tom.
But
one finger, circular motion, no eye contact.
But if I'm in the Emyn Muir and it's all rocks, I'm not. I mean, and there's no water.
They were probably a bit stinky by the end of it.
Yeah, they're very stinky.
Got itchy bum holes.
I reckon they waited till Gollum was asleep and then just wiped their asses on his little loincloth.
I mean, he's not gonna know. I mean, one more shit stain on that. It's like, the fucking thing's held together by shit stains. So I mean, it's fine.
You know what happened to the rabbit fur?
Yeah.
Oh,
Flossing.
Beetles.
Yeah.
I need it.
They're asking King's foil.
What's King's foil? Is that the sword?
Athalas.
That's
No,
it's the plant that brings
healing.
Faramir?
Brings you out the dark
Who is it
shadow.
that they revive with the King's foil?
Eowyn, Faramir,
Eowyn,
and Merry. No.
They revive Faramir with it, do they?
So that would be no hemorrhoids. No hemorrhoids for the Fellowship. They're going to have the most gleaming ring pieces ever.
And in the movies, it's Arwen with Aragorn using King's foil to help alleviate Frodo's suffering, but in the books it's just Aragorn who uses it, but the Morgul blade is, because it's the Witch King's tip, just the tip. It's too powerful.
Well, it's also suggested in the book that it only works because Aragorn is the king.
Yeah, the King's hands is a healing the hands of a healer is the hands of a king, or hands of a king is the hands of a healer.
Hands of a healer, man.
Well, there we go. I've got another one as well that I'd kind of like to throw in if possible.
Go for it.
But,
yeah.
Okay. Well, I figure we can go a little bit later, can't we?
We can go a
Maybe.
bit.
I've got to still finish washing up, but yeah, fine.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll tell you what. You get yours then, and then I'll come back round. That's fine.
This one is donated by question by my wife. My wife.
Hate me.
In the 1990s film of the Ninja Turtles, in the song Turtle Power, Raphael is noted as the leader of the Turtles.
Bullshit.
Well. At what point does the leadership transfer from Raphael to Leonardo? Is it in the cartoon? In the movie and in the original stuff in the 90s, Raphael was the leader, not Leonardo. But we all grew up. I know we all thought Leonardo was the leader.
Leonardo was the Ultramarines of the Turtles.
Yeah. He was the leader, wasn't he?
No, Raphael. The song clearly says Raphael. is the leader.
He's the dark brooding one that disappears. He's the Batman of the group. Like, he just goes off on his own and does his own thing. That's not what leaders do.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
In
No, he's thinking of Turtle power.
Turtle power. Turtle power.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Must have just been like a little sort of like rewrite at some point.
Because then,
I guess
as
I
you
was
say,
right
in the
about
cartoon, it's what's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I have to sing the whole song.
Ah, no, here we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell. Yeah, here we go. It's blah, blah, blah. It's literally Leonardo's the leader in blue. Does anything it
there you
takes
go.
to get his ninjas through. Donatello is a fellow, has a way with machines. Raphael has the most attitude on the team. And then Michelangelo, he's one of a kind, which I feel is like the Ringo's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Michelangelo is the Ringo.
And Michelangelo is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Where in another one, in more recent ones, he's noted for being able to find a party and always knows where the pizza is.
Yeah, he's like the Stoney dude that
It does.
But
It says,
this
and
was
you
a
know where to find
revelation
him when it's
that
party
At one
time.
point, Raphael was noted as the leader, and whether they decided that was rubbish in the film.
It's a terrible idea. He's a loner.
He's just very angry.
Yeah,
He's always on his own. He's always putting his fucking trench coat on and just going off on his own.
his duster,
Yeah.
calling
Like-
everyone jabronis.
Yeah, and just kind of going off and no one's paying attention to this guy with a big green head.
Hmm.
So
But, like, yeah.
essentially, the leadership change happened because of the animation, the cartoon that followed.
So I love that you actually have an answer for this. You've just been kind of baiting us along a little bit. And
No, I
you
have no answer because I think we've answered it.
Leonardo's
in the
like,
live action film, Raphael's the leader.
Yeah.
he's
That is mental.
no, he's not. He's
it's
the
what-
loner.
It's what
He disagrees with Leonardo being the leader. I watched this like a couple of months ago, maybe about a year ago now, actually. But
the original 1980s. Well, all I'm going with is Turtle Power clearly states that Raphael is the leader.
So is the song wrong or is the film wrong?
Probably the song.
So in
film's wrong.
2014,
Yeah.
someone the film is wrong. You are wrong. Someone asked Cora in 2014, why isn't Raphael the leader? And the top answer
It's
was,
amazing how you get their voice so accurately.
It's amazing, isn't it? And it was a proper actually answer because he isn't qualified to be one, as he lacks the emotional maturity, compassion, and humility necessary to be a leader. Vic Thorne also gave a good example from the latest TV, and I can't read the rest of it because I don't want to.
I
go
hope the
forward
guy
and
that
get all
wrote
shit
that,
all
their
over
wife was like, "Did you do anything good at work today?" And he's like,
I did.
"Yes, I was
Yes.
right on
Yes,
the
I did.
internet."
Yeah, I was right. Raphael, Raph, to his friends and brothers, is a great fighter, and it is arguable, especially by him, that he's the best fighter in the group. Raph isn't he's calling him Raph like he knows him. Raph, me and Raph, just having a rap, isn't
Nobody
really a
ever
team
calls him
player.
Raph.
He's rebellious and hot-headed, far too willing to use violence. This can best be shown by a tendency to use his downtime to go out patrolling, like a lone wolf, looking for a fight rather than inventing, training, or playing games. Here we go, yeah. None of these traits make him a good candidate for leadership, which is why Splinter gave the position to Leonardo, who, while he might sometimes fail to understand his brothers, at least tries and is far more invested in the team. I think they're giving too much emotional depth to big green turtles that, lived in a sewer. Turtles in a sewer. It's weird. It's a weird concept. Poo turtles turning into Ninja Turtles.
Leonardo's the better leader, that's for sure. Whereas Raphael is just like he's a lone wolf.
Also, Raphael has been pretty bad with this. He says he might think it's a better. This is the same person, by the way, because he thinks he's the best at everything. But he's had his opportunity, and on several occasions, and usually comes to realise it's not as easy as he thought. And begrudgingly, he hands the reins back to Leo and goes back to being the guy who questions every decision that Leo makes. You can tell the huffiness of this person. This is a person knee deep,
Latching tight onto his Leonardo like
Balls
figure
deep
as
on
he's doing it. Yeah.
in the law here, isn't he? Balls deep in the law.
Well,
And
in
funnily enough, no
Mutant-
one else answered that question.
in Mutant Mayhem, Leo wants to be the leader because he's trying to be the responsible one. The others don't really listen to him until Raph actually compliments him.
Oh,
and
so
goes,
I'm sorry.
"What's the-"
We're all just calling him Raph now. That's
Yeah,
never
why
been
not?
a thing.
Yes. No, it is
Raphael.
now.
Actually,
The-
they call Mike Andrew Mikey all the time.
The
Yeah,
Know It All on
that's
Cora.
acceptable.
The Know It All on Cora from 2014 was very clear. Okay, very clear. On it
Honestly,
being
I'm
Raph.
just going with what Muse and Mayhem says because I'm saying that's now canon and it's one of the best things that's happened in recent years.
I will die on the hill of changing your Wikipedia updates back to the original every single time.
There is no way R could ever be the leader of the
Ah,
yeah.
our dog,
yeah.
our dog, ribeye as I call him. Sorry.
Anyway,
Very
Razzle.
good. Very
Yeah.
Raphael,
the song,
Ratatato.
essentially the song was wrong.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, song was probably
But it's still a fucking banger.
It is.
yeah. That song my mate Paul wrote, but turned out to be wrong.
But we said that. Paul says it's nothing else. The song sounds like a Digital Underground. Yes, it does, yeah. That's a good song.
Raphael is the oldest, I think so. He's the senior member. No. Oh, hang on, what? Oh, you senior member. Right, sorry, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, it's like time served, isn't it? It's like, yeah.
Also,
the-
where does
of the-
Donatello get his glasses from? He starts off.
Yeah. I think it's from like the middle aisle of an Aldi. You know, those sort of reading glasses. I've got
Just
one of
try
every
loads.
single one to see which one works.
That's probably, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, Dan. I do mean to.
No, I like it. It's good. Anyone got any more?
I've got another one.
Go on then.
It depends how much time we've got though. If
Let's go.
we're sort of edging.
Yeah.
Right, Tyler Durden's fashion. I want to talk about Tyler Durden's fashion from Fight Club, right? Because this always bothers me. So, right, you're the narrator, right? And you're the one that's imagining Tyler exists. You're also at points completely forgetting that you're yourself and are embodying Tyler Durden. But every time you're imagining him and that you're there watching him, you're always imagining his fashion as well. So that means you're imagining the crazy vests, the really tight trousers, the sheer tops he wears at some points when he's like literally got like like literally wearing sheer vests and stuff like that under his big furry jackets. Is Edward Norton, like, is the narrator played by Edward Norton, is he wearing those clothes? Like, and if he is, like, it adds a really far more weird layer to the story of these people. Not only does this person change personalities all the time, but literally changes their wardrobe as well. And I just was like, is that a thing? Can we agree whether he is or isn't wearing the clothes? Or is this just all...
I always saw it as that's how he wishes he could dress.
Yeah.
Okay. My
Yeah,
questions really are short answers.
No,
aren't they?
that's how I kind of look at it as well. I kind of like think that at no point does he ever look like Brad Pitt. At no point is he actually ever Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah.
So
No.
like that is the voice that's driving him to be
But-
Tyler Durden.
But at points he is Tyler Durden.
He is Tyler Durden, but he still
Yeah,
looks like
but
Edward
Tyler
Norton
Durden
all the
doesn't
time.
look like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Right. So he's not suddenly wearing red jeans and...
No, that's just the alter ego that he's seeing in his head that's forcing him to go do things. That's how I look at it anyway.
Yeah. Part 2, wouldn't that have been a funnier film if he suddenly turned up wearing really outrageous clothes?
'Cause if
rather than
anything-
shit suits.
If anything, he'd notice if he was wearing the clothes as well.
Oh, fucking well, yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I wearing the dressing gown and bunny slippers?
Dan says, I think Tyler even says, I look like you wish you could look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the speech at the end is, I look like you want to look, I fuck like you want to fuck, I'm smart, capable, of, most of all, most important, I'm free in all the ways you're not.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, it's always nagged my brain, because I mean, that's a lot of imagination work. You know, some of the outfits, they're quite out there. You know, loafers, like suit trousers, a crazy vest, big furry jacket, and weird sort of goggle sunglasses. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's another subtle way to show that the narrator's mind is going a bit mad, because it's all a bit off the rails. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
maybe.
nothing, all clashes.
I mean, maybe setting up the Fight Club was the biggest indicator there as well.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's the warning sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I, as far as I'm aware, he doesn't ever really dress like Tyler does. He just kind of wishes. That's the voice. That's the person, as he says, he wishes he was. So.
All right, fair enough. All right, well, okay, sorry about that. Yeah,
And
it's a
it
bit
would,
short, that one.
and to answer your question, yes, every now and then, if he just turned up dressed like Tyler Durden and they didn't explain it, it might actually make it a better film. Like, why is Edward Norton like Tyler Durden? Maybe he could dress like Two-Face in Batman
really
Forever.
Good.
Yes,
like
and
that,
stands
like
in profile.
Like that bit of Tommy Lee Jones in Batman Forever, where he appears and he goes, and me.
That's what Dan's saying. Yeah.
I love that. Oh, God bless Val Kilmer. Rest in peace.
He was in so many fucking great films.
He was, and actually, I'm a genuine fan of Batman Forever. It was
Looking
the
back
first
at it.
it was the first Batman film I properly watched like over and over. I really liked Jim Carrey as the Riddler, and I fucking liked Tommy Lee Jones as the bloody Two-Face. So
I don't even hate
it.
That
Did
they
what it
both
did
came
really
into
well.
it.
It was it was more of an Adam West Batman vibe.
yeah,
And
but
both
it still had dark overtones.
And both Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey came into it going, I want to be Nicholson's Joker. But because they're both very different actors, they still act very differently in it. So, yeah.
And it was a banging film. Like,
Yeah, it's good.
all of it was really good. And the soundtrack, I mean,
Soundtrack's great.
yeah. Possibly the last... No, that's a lie. I was going to say the last time U2 did a good song, but it's...
When is the U2 cut-off date? Is Beautiful Day? Like,
I
where does
quite
that
like
sway?
How
'Cause that's
to
kind of half and
Dismantle
half.
Atomic Bomb. Some
Yeah.
of the songs on there.
what's the one he did Elevation from Tomb Raider? That was
Yeah.
quite good as well. I think
That
everything
was
after
on the
that.
What
same-
was that on? Can't
I can't remember.
For me, it's Vertigo. I think everything after Vertigo is
Vertigo's a good song.
everything after Vertigo is just kind of a wall of sound.
Yeah.
Now for me,
Did
but
go on the Vertigo.
That is How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Russ, any more?
Thank you. Sorry, the answer.
I mean, I
was
have,
so easy
but
to get to.
we are way over now.
I got one more I want to get in there.
Go on,
It's a
you,
good one.
you do your one.
You sure?
You do your one, and I'll do my one, but you just have to answer immediately. There's no discussion.
Deal. Okay, so this is another one from Brooke. Mr. Rogers, right? If a kid's life was in danger, do you think he's capable of killing? This is Mr. Rogers, who's had military training. He's considered the nicest person in the world, but do you think he could kill?
If a child's life is in danger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so as well.
I think he protects children above
Yeah,
all else.
I think he would regrettably do it. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't take any pleasure in doing it.
No.
Is he Mr. Rogers or is he Mr. McFeely?
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers. Because I think Mr. Rogers would kill. I think Mr. Rogers is like at home is the grumpy Korean war vet who lives next door.
Nah, man, he's just nice. He's just
No, at home, but
Yeah.
like he's like Clint Eastwood, like grumpy, like
yeah.
but will literally kill to save a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd kill to save a child.
Mm.
I don't think I could. But I don't think. No, I don't know. I'd like to think I could. Were the situation, yeah, I could Mr. Rogers him. Give him a Mr. Roger ring.
There you go. Mr. Rogers has killed and would kill again. There we go.
What's
Yeah,
the
maybe, yeah.
ultimate... There's the ultimate fight. This is showing my age and I can't even remember it because it's a long time ago. But there was that silly animation cartoon that was on Newgrounds, which was the ultimate
Showdown.
showdown. And Mr. Rogers wins.
Yeah.
He's at the end with a sword and he's crying because he has to do this. So yeah, he would kill but with tears in his eyes because he doesn't want to.
So
He would win.
again, sort of showing our age. Out of a fight between Mr. Rogers and Chuck Norris, who would win?
Mr. Rogers, because it's fact in the Ultimate Showdown that Chuck Norris gets beaten.
There we
He
go.
does. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
So
we're
you
just
can go-
accepting that as fact, are we?
You can go on your little heroes wiki, and you can go to the entry on Mr. Rogers, and you can put that in there.
Begrudgingly wins.
Yeah. I just like I just like that tagline: "Mr. Rogers has killed and would kill again." It's like
Okay,
the
then.
bedtime story, isn't it? And at the end of his journey, Mr. Rogers realised that not only had he killed, but he would kill again.
He was the monster all
end.
along.
Have a lovely night's sleep, Juniper.
And don't have nightmares.
Don't have nightmares.
I agree.
Lovely.
Yeah, like that. I think he'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, who's next? What have we got? We got any more?
Chris Morris couldn't even beat Bruce Lee, and he's dead.
Yeah.
Chuck Morris.
Chuck Morris. So I thought they said Chris Morris then. So bit different. Russ.
And he
say
said,
one...
is Chuck Norris dead?
No, Chuck
Oh, no,
Morris.
Bruce
is
Lee's
dead.
dead.
Bruce Lee's dead. Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Lee's dead.
Right. Should we do one very, very quick? You've got to answer very quickly.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So, you can have Magneto's metal controlling powers, but every time you use it, it generates an absolutely unholy stench. Really noticeable, really pungent, and it's very obviously coming from you.
Right, so
Or,
stinky magnetism.
or it's a very, very useful power. Or you have Spider-Man's web slinging powers, but every time you fire a web, one also shoots out of your knob.
I'm gonna have to redesign the costume slightly, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Spider-Man. And it's mostly just because I hate Magneto. So
Oh, is that because he breaks Gambit's heart?
yeah. Spoilers, but yeah.
So you're gonna literally be wandering around with a Spider-Man outfit with 2 eye holes and a knob hole.
Not necessarily a hole, but like you fire off 20 meters of web, you've got 20 meters shooting out of you as well.
Oh fucking hell!
And it's probably like a little bit uncomfortable on the way out.
Spider-Man.
Just like thwip. Ah,
with this giant
I
like
just-
bulbous like pouch of web like in his
yeah,
pants.
could be. Which is probably like gets a
It's
bit
just
like
been
soggy.
It's gonna look like your dick is gonna look like a fucking salami at the end of a busy day's web slinging. Like it's gonna look like a proper army.
I just webbed to save someone from a train track, and I just webbed in my pants.
Oh man.
But then
just-
there's situations where it could have come in useful. You know, he's got the bus full of kids on one arm, he's got MJ on the other. He needs to grab onto something.
It's just
He's
It's just
grabbing
the
onto
idea
he's
of it,
grabbing
like-
MJ with his
like one of those silly string like aerosol cans, you know.
You have to cut yourself out of your pants at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's what we at the end of the day. Like it starts off with like a bold, strong jet of web, and at the end it's just like just sort of crinkled little
the
crusty
vinegar
stuff flying out.
tears.
But your pants look like
Guys, can we just hold this fight? I've just swung across the city and I'm really dehydrated.
I'm really tired.
Just
I need a bag of peanuts and a
and some coconut
Shooting
water.
ashes. Shooting
It's not.
just need to have a sit down.
Arcing ropes of webbing.
I just want to see what Dan's costume would look like.
I don't. I'm not going to look good in that.
It's
I
like
mean,
If you're high up enough in the air and moving fast enough, you'd probably be fine. Nobody would see anything.
So
dribbling out.
have a- what happens if you have a wank?
Just like so.
Like,
So I
do
knew
you
this
then
would
shoot-
happen. It's entirely separate to that. I'm like, it's not. I don't think it's a pleasurable thing. It would be.
I
It
didn't
would be a
assume it
little
would.
bit uncomfortable.
I assumed that. Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like whip. Oh God, whip. Oh.
No, it's probably
I
like
think it still would be weird.
It's
It's
like
like be a weird
thwip-
sensation.
oh.
Does it, you know when Wolverine's like, does it hurt when they come out? Every time.
every time.
Does it hurt? No, it feels. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Where's my video gone off? Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hello,
Tom's
bye,
whipped
Tom.
himself off.
That's all right. I'll be back in a minute.
All right, cool. That's all right. My dad is mortified. Brooke, why are you watching this with your dad?
Hang on, not sure what's going on.
Anyway,
Well, look, I think Tom's set the right lead by just leaving.
yeah,
We have run over. We should probably knock this one off.
yeah, but Tom
it
does the
were.
exit. He needs to do the
I mean, you
exit.
can still talk.
Oh, that's all right then.
Tom, what did you do?
For audio listeners, Tom's gone. And we've got the OBS symbol. So that's the thing.
I mean, I feel like we should just end it rather than like sit here for 10 minutes waiting for Tom to figure out how to plug his
Yeah.
camera back in.
Maybe,
Yeah, don't worry, I'm back.
There he's back.
It's-
There he is.
Yeah, it was literally it's the USB port on the front I/O. There's one of them is a bit dodgy, and I had it plugged into that one. Anyway, don't worry about it. It couldn't matter less. I'm back.
Hello.
All right.
Right.
Bye. Anyway,
Right, come on, get us out of here.
Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode of Too Much Time on Our Hands, don't forget to tune in to more. Or you can come and talk to us on our social media feeds. If you go to Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, just use the handle at TMTOOH or facebook.com.
I mean, if you enjoyed this, there's something wrong with you, really, isn't there?
And don't forget, if you want to chat on our Discord server, there's actually quite a high of activity going on there at the moment. Lots of discussions about various bits and bobs. Go to our Instagram channel and head to the bio. You'll find a link to the Discord server there. Dan has got a recording of this pod, and he has promised people, we don't know who these people are, they sound very menacing, that it's going to be online. So keep your ears peeled, or if hopefully you enjoyed it if you're listening to it now. And don't forget, you can watch all of our live streams back if you go to our YouTube channel. Just look for Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast. You'll go to the live tab, you'll find everything that we've done over the last 3, 4, 5 years on YouTube. So there's plenty to keep you occupied. Any last words from any of the team? Dan, you look like you want to say something, but I might be misreading.
The podcast will become a thing. We've had multiple people say now they'd like the podcast back, so I will make sure it goes up, because I've been really lazy with it. So I will stop being lazy with it.
And
Hey.
thanks, Handies. Lovely.
Yeah,
to
thanks,
have all the
Handies. We'll say our quick round of goodbyes. Dan, goodbye.
Bye, Tom.
Bye,
That's all I
Duncan.
got.
Goodbye.
Bye, Tom.
Russ, goodbye.
Laters, boys.
And goodbye, Handies. And on that note, let's cue the music. Oh, and